Hi, everyone. I'm excited to be here today to talk to you about some of the miracle stories that are happening right here in our own city, in our own state, every day. My name is Tony Kausha, and the title of our show is Tony's 50,000 Coincidence Miracles. Please note, this show is not about religion, and we're not trying to change anyone's religion, and we're not trying to get you to join any religion. It's just about miracle stories. I don't know of any religion on the planet that doesn't talk about miracles. That's why religions begin, because they have something that's telling them there's really a God. But we're not going to get into that. We're going to just talk about miracles and leave the decisions about all that up to you. So we don't care what religion you are. We just want to talk about miracles. If you are an atheist, I think you'll enjoy the program as well, although I can't guarantee you'll remain an atheist very long after you hear many convincing stories, coincidence kinds of stories about miracles. You can email me your own stories if you wish. We'll try to use all we can on the show. I can't guarantee we will, depending on volume and time, but you're welcome to send your stories on to us, and we will mention them when we can. You can send them to the following email address. But please notice that if we do use your story, we won't mention your name. We'll keep you anonymous. And we suggest that in your story, when you send it to us, don't use your correct name. That way anyone listening will not be able to figure out that it was you that sent the story in. The email address you can send your stories to is very easy to remember. It consists of 2 words and 3 numbers. The first word is Tony, spelled Tony, and the second word is and, spelled A-N-D, and the numbers are 777. So once again, the name is Tony and 777 at AOL.com. Well, let us begin. Hi, everyone. Hopefully by now you've heard enough times where I'm being very redundant about certain things, like explaining numbers or explaining the word inspiration, etc. The reason we experience many coincidence miracles in our life is fundamentally because we're always talking to God. I don't mean 100% because I'm certainly a failure at that, but the more and more we talk to God, I believe we can become, like many of the saints, talking to God all day long about everything. And the purpose of this show is to convince people that talking to God any percentage of the day at all makes your day a better day. So God is with us constantly, all day long, every single day, and we need to learn that He's there and we can talk to Him as a friend, a real close friend. He made us to be His friends, and we should be able to talk to Him like a friend. Not always be in awe or fear of Him, because He made us to be His friends. He's certainly God and deserves our respect. So I wanted to stress that, because the more we talk to God, the more we are going to see coincidence miracles. And the other thing we're going to notice is that God gets involved in all of the minutiae in our life. Every tiny aspect, the more and more you talk to Him, you'll notice that. And that's because if you had a friend who was going to be with you 24 hours a day, constantly every second, for let's say 35 years or 50 years, a friend like that, you're going to be constantly together. So you're going to talk about, when you're cutting the grass, you're going to talk about how high should I set the blades? Should I cut it shorter this week? You're going to talk about things like that. You go shopping, you're going to ask for opinions and advice of a friend, and what kind of soda should I get this time for the party? Or did my wife say that she wanted red or blue? I forgot. So you're going to be talking to your friend about every kind of minutia. Now, if God is with you constantly, you're going to be talking to Him about minutia. And, if you start deciding, well, I'm only going to talk to God about the real big things in my life, then you're going to miss out on the millions and millions of miracles you can experience in your lifetime by talking about the minutia. Now, you'll be very happy to hear, I hope, that, as you may remember from past shows, I read the diary of Saint Faustina, a very holy nun, a very holy, saintly woman. And if you know anything about her, You'll certainly know that she was the promoter. Jesus asked her to promote Divine Mercy Sunday and the Divine Mercy Chaplet, so she's famous for that. She was born in 1905 and she died in 1938. So she died at the age of 33, which was the same age that Jesus died at. Jesus was crucified at age 33. So if you read her diary, you'll find out she was extremely close to Jesus, and she talked to Jesus, from what you can surmise from her diary, she talked to Jesus about every single thing going on every single day. And she experienced many, many miracles that no one knew about. She kept them in her diary, and people found out about it after she died when they were looking at her diary. So that's a nutshell about her. But I thought you'd be happy to hear that this holy saint, who was talking to Jesus all the time and experiencing many coincidence miracles constantly, because, as I just stressed, she was talking to Jesus about every single thing. Seems to me, anyway, when you read her diary. You'll be happy to know that in the section where she, in her diary, items number 1022 through and including 1031, so that's about 9 paragraphs from 1022 to 1031, you'll notice that she actually says things like she's getting inspirations from Jesus. She's getting inspirations and ideas during the day. And she recognizes those inspirations and ideas as coming from Jesus. So I thought you'd be happy to know that. After me, for the last 2 years, I've been producing these radio shows. It's been 2 years now, and I've been stressing the fact that I get ideas and inspirations from God all day long, because when I get up in the morning, before I put my feet on the floor, before I get out of bed, I'll sit on the edge of the bed and I ask Jesus every morning, please inspire me all day today. Please give me ideas all day today. In other words, please talk to me all day long, and please do barge into my day, Lord. I ask Jesus to please interrupt me in my day and talk to me when he knows that it's going to benefit me. So that's what I've learned to ask for, and I've been talking about that on the radio here for 2 years now. Probably frustrating some of you because I'm always repeating it. But the reason I do this is because I'm trying to get everybody to talk to God about every single thing. You know, should I call my brother now or tomorrow? Should I call my mother now or tomorrow? Should I go shopping today or should I go next week? The more you do things like that and talk about the minutiae, the tiny aspects in your life, you're going to come to appreciate that Jesus is right there with you in all of the tiny moments in your life. He's even there while you're dreaming, okay? So that's what I wanted to stress. And now we have St. Faustina as an example. Her whole life in the convent, if you read her diary, you'll see that that's what she was doing. So she's a wonderful model for us, encouraging us to do the same thing that she did. Now I'm going to try to give you an example of a coincidence miracle par excellence, having to do with all of the minutiae, all the tiny moments in our day. Okay, so I had a day where I was shopping at a mega store, a very huge store where you can buy everything you want. And I was at one section buying groceries, and I knew that I had to buy shaving soap because I keep a spare of some items, and I had a spare of shaving soap, and I used the one I had, and I am now using the spare one, so that means I need to buy another spare one. So I finished my grocery shopping, but in this huge store, the shaving soap was on the other end. It's like almost 10% of a mile away. So I asked Jesus about it. He said, no, it's your spare, so wait till you have a more opportune time. No sense going all the way down the other side of the store and coming back because I was parked on this end. No sense doing that. So I got this inspiration to wait until I go to CVS, because he was inspiring me that I had some medications that were going to be due soon. And when I go to CVS, I can pick up the shaving soap at that time, even though it might be a little more expensive. So that was the decision to make, and I was talking to Jesus about it. The next thing was that I needed to call CVS and find out when my meds were going to be ready, because their computers typically order things automatically for me. They know when they're due based on usage. So they typically call me and tell me to come pick them up. But I hadn't heard on one that was due, so I asked Jesus about that. He inspired me, no, let it go, call later today. So I was going to call much later during the day for some reason. So when I got home, the recorder had left a message from CVS because I waited to call later. So the message was there from CVS saying that this medication was ready. So this was a great coincidence, miracle, because Jesus told me to wait. And instead of me wasting my time calling them, it takes time to get through, as you probably know if you call CVS. You talk to the computer for a while to get your information. So waiting saved me a lot of time. So I got home and I noticed and I said, wow, that's great. Thank you, Jesus, because you saved me a lot of aggravation. So now I knew I had to pick up the med. So I said to him, should we pick it up, today or tomorrow? And he inspired me, no, wait a couple of days, because you'll be going by that area for some other things in the next couple of days. And typically you can wait 5 days for CVS to pick up things when they say it's ready. So I said, okay. So I put it on my list of things to do and bring it up maybe in a couple of days. And sure enough, 2 days later, I had to go down in the same area of town right next to CVS. So I got inspired and a thought popped into my head. To put that on my list for today and stop at CVS while I was down in that area. So I went into CVS and I was going to get the shaving soap and pick up the meds. So I went looking for the shaving soap first, and lo and behold, I get to the shaving soap, and there was a coupon on there which looked to me like it was this day only, or this was the last day for the sale. They were selling it at half price. Now, it doesn't cost $1 million for, one can of shaving soap, aerosol. It doesn't cost $1 million, but, significant enough is the fact that I waited and now I'm getting this at half price off and on my more convenient time that I'm down in that area of town. So I took it and I walked over to the prescription counter to pick up my prescription. And when I got to the pharmacy area to pick it up, and they were giving me the one I asked for, they said, oh, by the way, our computer says that this other medication is ready. It just got prepared today, and nobody called you about it yet. So that was another coincidence miracle, you see. So God, knowing all these things, that's why he had me wait a couple of days until I was in the area. He knew that the shaving soap was going to be on sale at 50% off. He knew that they were going to be formulating the second medication instead of me having to make 2 trips. And then I pulled out my money to pay for the medications, and I picked up the shaving soap. And lo and behold, when I was purchasing the medications, the clerk at the counter in the pharmacy section said, oh, you get a coupon today for $2 off anything you want to buy. And I said, wow, I got the shaving soap here, and it was a little less than $2 at the half price off. And so I got the shaving soap for free. So to summarize all this, I hope you picked up on, there's like 9 steps in this coincidence miracle. I was shopping at one place, and Jesus tells me, don't get the shaving soap today. Wait a few days, because it's only a spare soap for you. I wait a few days, and on the day I do wind up getting inspired to get the shaving soap, it's half price off. And I'm in CVS now, and I'm getting both meds. One just got prepared just now, and saving all the time and the waste of gasoline going back and forth to CVS, etc. So hopefully you're picking up on, if you talk to God about all the minutiae in your life, you wind up experiencing 9 or 10 miracles, all about one simple thing like picking up shaving soap. So let's remember to talk to God about every single thing we're doing all day long. The more we talk to him, the more miracles we'll have. God bless you all. I'll talk to you next week.